Uganda is a landlocked country with a population of about 35 million people. This pearl of Africa has a wide diversity of cultures, various natural resources, and a growing economy. Like many developing countries, Uganda invests trillions of shillings in various projects to enhance development and improving people's livelihoods. It is worth noting that despite a significant increase in disbursements, delivery of public services is still wanting, and many Ugandans are still living in extreme poverty and vulnerability. This is attributed to misappropriation of resources, which is partly blamed to citizens' passiveness and inability to track resources. But residents of Morunyang in Toroma sub-county, Katakwi district have embarked on collective participation in managing and use of all financial resources and humanitarian assistance allocated to their area.
Has apparently been creating civil awareness on public resource flow. And it has fundamentally transformed common man ever since we began our work.
For the first time, the community was mobilized by a team of community trackers to attend a budget conference in which they identified their priorities, as John Opatwa, Morunyang's chairperson, explains.
This is for a new year, 2013. We start on the 10th January 2013, whereby I raised 6 problems which my community is crying. 1, distilling of well dam, then drilling of deep borehole, then rehabilitation of a pit tank, then opening of community road via Omiro to trading center. 4, opening of community road from Obongut via Omiro, Morunyang to Asuret. 5, drilling of deep borehole from Morunyang A to B. Then supply of improved seeds, e.g. cassava cuttings, G-nuts, green gram.
Luckily, some of their priorities were incorporated in both the sub-county and district plans for 2013-2014 financial year.
One of the priorities that we are going to embrace and permanently for some time is going to be addressing the question of waterlogging and flooding. Because every year for the last, since 2007, the issue of flooding and waterlogging has become a permanent destruction and destroyer of our development initiatives. You will plant, food will rot. You will plant cassava, it gets waterlogged. Like last year, we almost lost, some sub-counties like Ngaram and Palam lost more than 50% of their harvest because of waterlogging and flooding. You couldn't harvest because of the water. So we're going to address that, and we're putting it as our top priority to address the issue of flooding and waterlogging. Because if we don't do that, all our investments will go to waste. And I'm grateful. We've learned government has imported some equipment for excavating dams, etc., etc. So we're going to adopt that issue as one strategy, one intervention, but more important, as a district, we must allocate resources toward that effort.
The program is in line of how we are operating in the district, in the sub-county here. We do what we call participatory development, where we go to the villages and collect the priorities, and from the villages to the parishes, then we integrate into our budgetary estimates up to the district. So now when such people are there, they will help us a great deal, because they will get the communities informed.
Opatwa and group are part of 21 community trackers who are trained and facilitated by Development Research and Training in partnership with development initiatives under the Program Partnership Agreement. This program is implemented in 5 districts of Gulu, Katakwi, Kitgum, Kotido and Pader. It aims at improving humanitarian and development outcomes for people living in poverty through effective management of all resources, aid and increasing access to information.
Research and training, partnership with development initiatives, are implementing a 3-year DFID-funded program on better aid delivered through better information. The project is being implemented at 3 levels: at the global level, at the national level, and at the local level. And at the local level, Development Research and Training is working with 5 districts, 5 selected districts in northern and northeastern Uganda, namely Gulu, Pader, Kitgum, Katakwi and Kotido districts. And at the district level, we are working with communities. The project implementation brings together donors, governments, and officials from civil society organizations, but also parliament. And the project aims at, first of all, the accessibility and availability of information on resource flows. So the project will build capacities of different stakeholders to be able to access and understand, interpret and use data. The project has been implemented for 1.5 years, since 2011, and several trainings have taken place in aid and budget analysis at the local level and also at the national level for the stakeholders at the national level. So far, the community trackers have been were trained in August 2012, and they have been working in their respective communities. They've been able to spearhead the process of citizens' participation in the planning and budgeting processes at their level, at the local level, and in all the communities we see that they were able to sit down in their communities with their local leader and identify the priorities. And they've also been able to follow up some of these issues to see what has been integrated at the sub-county level and what has been integrated at the district level.
In Kitgum, trackers have been following NADS and community-driven development, the 2 government programs aimed at improving people's livelihoods. Community trackers' presence in Muchweni sub-county has created some changes and new hope.
The program you have initiated in our parish Yeba, piloted in Yeba Central, it is very vital and important to the community. Before you have initiated this program, there is a lot of complaints and problems with the community of Yeba Parish. Why do I say that? They used to crying that there's a lot of government program, for example, like NUSAF, NADS, as community-driven development, that is CGD, is there in the sub-county. But the way how the stakeholders drive the issue of the government program, it was so unknown to them. They used to cry because they are not getting the services from the government. I can see there is a slight changes because we have opened the eyes of the community by sensitizing them on the government program when it will come and when they are supposed to get it. So
in the previous day, before you have employed those people, or you have recruited those people, I said, how should they go? Is it a volunteer?
Community resource tracker.
Community resource tracker. Yeah. Before, those people have given them the information. You know, in Yeba Parish, in fact, I'm not going to just insult them. I'm saying what I always, they were just complaining about the government program that we are not getting the services. Oh, the service level they cannot reach to us. But as soon as you have recruited those people, they have now started to learn a lot of the government program. Information from the parishes, especially the parish.
The real information.
The real information. In the previous time, we were not even having a real information. But currently now, we have paid now a lot. Especially on the program like nursing, CDD, LAYS. Yeah, people now learn a lot. And like the one which Mara said and the rest of their colleagues said, people now from the Yepa Parish, they knew about the government program. When people call for the meeting, they don't turn up. But now they are now coming up with the program. My appeal to you now, if possible, if you can now extend the program to the parishes or one of the parishes, just extend it so that the program is very much interesting. Yeah. So what they are saying is very true and very important. Yeah, I do appreciate and I do welcome the program.
The trackers, in collaboration with the sub-county, organized a budget conference in which the community informed their needs to sub-county leaders.
We gathered the community. From there, we settled the day and then together with the parishes for budget conference. When we went there, we have started informing them to come out willingly with the priorities for the parish and then for the village, which the government of the Mushini sub-county can support or cannot support. It depends on the resources they have. From there, they came out with 8 priorities. One, they want the sub-county to tell them about, and they want also the community roads from trading centers, from Mushini sub-county up to Yepa. They also want cattle crossings, there are a number of diseases from within the villages. They also said the hospital is far from them, Mushini Health Center 3. They want bicycle ambulance to be supported so that after maybe when somebody is sick, he's going to be transported. From there, after mentioning all those, they also want some nursery center since the school is very far up to training center for the children.
In all areas where the program is being implemented, information sharing between the community and leaders has improved.
Our work, it keeps and it has lifted our community because with the NAT, it used not to happen in the way it has happened for that year. Because after coming here, we consulted the chief, the NAT authorities, and even down there in the villages, actually, we are trying to know how were they selecting the right beneficiaries. But during the selection also, we moved at least for the whole parishes in the Panyangara sub-county. We are just there watching what's going on. But at least we saw that there is a change. And I think that change has come out through our mediation with the community and all that. Because with us, we are not looking also only on the good things. We also monitor the community themselves because sometimes our people also are funny. They can receive things and they start again saying that we did not get this, we did not get this. So we are monitoring both sides, both the service providers and the beneficiaries. And the beneficiaries were the community. We work together with the chairman, LC1s. There are people who are called the PDCs. So we do work together. All those leaders there in the parish up to even the sub-county level. So this reason why we're doing that, it helps us to collect also some information from them.
In Lakwela village in Paicho sub-county, Gulu district, women were not accessing NADS and other government support before the launch of the PPA program. But through sensitization, women have started demanding for their share.
We sat down and we made an action plan, and we began with consultation within the community. So far we went for 4 different sub-villages. One was Kimora sub-village, and Nyarakwan sub-village, then Kinene Central, and we combined Lapera and Gura was in a same sub-village. So far consultation we did in that 4 sub-villages. So by the time we came to the sub-county, we requested for sub-county development plan. And by then, they could not give the whole plan. That's what they told us. They requested us to select the main point we want to react on.
Our main issue was to focus on the NADS program. So when we were going down to the community, we were focusing towards what? Towards NADS program. Directed us to at least look into the program whereby we can explain it well, not to look into 2 or 3 programs where we cannot explain it properly.
Of the 14th of December, we also divided. We divide ourselves in the ratio of 2 to 2 and 1. So others do engage in other sector, and me also followed all of them. So for instance, this one and this one may go to other sector, and this one and the one I'm missing, they go for this one and what? We keep on moving between them.
In their 6-month milestone, trackers have faced several challenges, such as failing to identify which information they want and whom to approach for various information. Their community also presses for immediate change in service delivery.
You know, with the people in the community, they want, if you gather them, the benefits should reach there and then without even taking period. They want us to, like we see today, we talk of something like that. Should not take more than even a month. That particular thing we talk about would be reached in there. That could be the challenge we are getting. And in addition to that is that we as a tracker, there are some places where we don't know the right person to be asked for a question. That's why it is not easy to, because you should be in need of something, but whom would you go and request or you ask for a question?
We also add some other challenges to the community, more especially when we mobilize them so that we sensitize them. What we always experience is after the sensitization, they always try to demand some other money from us.
You know, these days, as we have the culture of NGOs, whenever they call the meetings, they call the communities to meetings, they give them some allowances, really money. So it is hard for people in communities to attend the meetings. Few attend. That's what we are also facing. When we want to cause them, give us the priorities, as we start planning, like last 2 weeks, we had started planning for the new budget, 2012-13. There is a low attitude of attending meetings by the communities. I know that will be faced with them.